Hey guys, YouTube Steve here. Working on a engine right now for Whipple Weekly. We've got the 289 out of the Mustang that we actually had pulled out of a garage out of Dayton. This was from a 67 Mustang. So today our plan is to take basically everything up front. So alternator, all that stuff, water pump, pulley. We're going to get to the timing set. We're going to pull that out, replace it, and we're probably also going to work with the distributor a little bit. We did notice that this wasn't even tied down. The tie down is just loose. But still, we're going to go through the rest of this. We'll also get a new fuel pump, and we will see where we go from there. But let's start by getting the front end of this torn off. Surprisingly, the gear on our distributor actually doesn't look too bad. We might actually reuse this. It's not a good start. Oh my God. When in doubt, bring the heat. If they're all coming out like that, this is going to be a long day. Golly. Try to be nice to me in the comments. This is by far the oldest thing I've ever worked on. It looks like this might have been missing some bolts. That's a good sign. pipe. So for how long this thing has been sitting, I'm actually surprised that that's all we have in there. All the rust that we have in there. We might be able to clean this up and reuse it. That will ultimately be up to Aaron. We'll see what happens. Let's get this crank off. And it's a different size. Go figure. I was expecting that to be a lot tighter. Golly, that was on there. So very glad that worked. Maybe now I can reach that fuel pump. Fuel pump is out. We are planning on replacing this, so Aaron's already got a new one. All right, so I think we're gonna change tactics a little bit here. We're gonna go ahead and take the oil pan off. Once we get the oil pan off, then we'll take the front cover off and we'll go from there. But everything on the front of the engine, water pump is off. Basically the next thing to come off up front is the front cover. We got the fuel pump off. We'll probably be taking the water inlet out there for the thermostat and all that. But let's take that oil pan off. All right, let's see what's behind door number 1 here. Fuck. Yep. Golly. I guess Ford didn't get pry points back then either. I think we're gonna need a new oil pan. This thing is on there. I know I got all the bolts out. All right, oil pan's loose. All right, let's bring the camera in here. It's pretty dirty. Okay. Now that this camera is done currently overheating, a little bit of time in the refrigerator seemed to help that. This is the inside of the 289. Looking a little rough. I think we'll run some oil that is designed to help clean stuff a little bit, or we'll put some kind of cleaner in with it. Little old school trick that I've heard, or I've used before, is simply putting a little transmission fluid in with your oil, and all the detergents in that will help clean it. Don't know if I want to use it on something like this, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get this front cover off. Remember to refrigerate your GoPros. I just love it when it pops right off like that. It's a little dirty in there. Everything's going to get cleaned up, so we're not too worried. But so we believe this engine has about 140,000 miles on it. We're assuming it's been reworked at least once. I'll admit, I don't know much about these, but I would expect us to have a little less slack than that. So I guess it's time to get this thing cleaned up. Get this cleaned up and see what's going on. I guess really we should put this at top dead center, see if this thing really is out of time like we suspect. So that'll be the next step, I believe. I think we're actually pretty damn close. All right, I believe the engine actually is in time. Alright, just to show how much was caked up on this thing. Obviously it is pretty dirty in here. So we got the timing set off. I'm just going to clean up all these mating areas for the front cover, and then we'll put the timing chain and everything back in. We'll clean up what we can, and then we're good to go. Let the scraping begin. Alright, we're going to hit this with a little bit of this Motorcraft shampoo, engine shampoo and degreaser. We'll get rid of some of this gunk that was built up over here. Try to get this area as cleaned up as we can before we go to put that front cover back on. Alright, while that other piece is drying, while the engine's drying, we're going to come through and clean all this stuff up. All this old gasket material. Don't let Brian fool you. I mean, he loves to listen to John complain. Okay, yeah, it needed that timing set. That chain had a lot of slack in that one. This one, there's no slack. All right, so we got the new timing set in. This is an Edelbrock timing set. A lot less slack in there. I still have to put the lobe on for the high pressure fuel pump. And then everything under here will be good. We'll be ready to put the gasket and stuff in and be able to put the new one in. We did not advance or retard the timing on this. We just left it at the stock timing. So I think we'll be okay there. Like we said before, our plan is just to get this engine running and put it back in at 67 so somebody else could probably enjoy it and do a little bit of work on it themselves. We have Zach over here scrub-dubbing away.
She's coming clean.
That's gonna look like a brand new cover.
You're telling lies.
Oh, come on, cheer up.
It's gonna look better.
You can just sit here and watch him right over your shoulder. So, under this one, it's obviously dirty. We're hoping that this will, that everything's in good shape in here. We did kind of already look. There's some play in here, so everything's still free. That one's got a little pressure on it yet, but it's not like there's a ton of. Well, that one might need a little bit of attention, but we'll give it all a quick once over, and then we will hopefully have this running next weekend. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, that done too.